What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. First and foremost, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Today we're going to be doing a rebuild I haven't done in quite some time. Talk about a team that I haven't talked about in a while, and that being the Orlando Magic. There's no real story or goal here behind this video today. I just know I haven't talked about them in a while, and they're a fun, intriguing team. Of course, they're very young. 8th seed in the East currently at this moment, 5 games over 500. They got a bright future for them, and I want to make sure I could continue to steer this bright future in the right direction, eventually get this Magic team a championship. I do definitely think they could take a big swing eventually when the time is right. But let's go ahead, talk about the Magic today, and let's rebuild them to a championship. Before we get in today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. But let's take a look at this Magic roster. Of course, it is led by Paulo and Franz Wagner. These are the two guys that I think the Orlando Magic will continue to build around. Ever since, of course, they made the decision to trade Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, away, it was the right way to take their path, because they ended up with Franz Wagner and then Paulo Banchero, which I think is a lot better than what it was. So, and you still have Markelle Fultz as well, Jalen Suggs, of course, Wendell Carter, Cole Anthony, a very, very solid team. But outside of Paulo and Franz Wagner, and then there's a couple other pieces, don't get me wrong, I need to figure out what else we're going to do. Of course, they have Anthony Black, who they drafted as well. But let's see how this first rest of the season goes. I'm not going to mess with anything. I'm going to sell me the rest of the season. I'm going to see where 2K takes this team. Are they going to stay in the playoff hunt? They're going to fall out. And then once we get in the offseason, we can figure out what we're going to do. Markelle Fultz being expiring contract makes things interesting. Every time I used to do a Magic rebuild, always had to decide between whether I was going to re-sign Markelle Fultz or Cole Anthony. And Cole Anthony's already extended, so we don't even have to worry about that. Got a really nice extension. Really cheap as well for a backup point guard, which I absolutely love. So Cole Anthony's probably going to be here to stay unless we do move him in the future for a big swing using his salary. We'll see. Fultz, we'll figure out what we're going to do with him. I do feel like we probably won't re-sign him, but we'll see. We'll see. I won't guarantee that just yet. So let's go ahead, somewhere to the end of this season, and let's see if 2K continues to hold on, or has the Magic continuing to hold on to either play-in or playoff spot. Today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. The way PrizePicks works is you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. Of course, not only do they have basketball, they have all kinds of other sports as well. They have college basketball, they got soccer, they even got esports on here, they got freaking darts on here. So many options to choose from. So, for example, if you think Asar is going over 9.5 points tonight, click more on the projection. You think Josh Hart's going over 11.5 points tonight, click more on the projection. It's that simple. Just gives you an extra sweat while you watch basketball. It just makes things a lot more fun, or any other sport that you watch. So if you want to sign for PrizePicks, use code Crushables. They match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. And I've been telling you guys this. The way I use PrizePicks is I use math now. I use DGF's optimizer correlation tool. I never anymore bet with my gut. I just don't do it. I don't make entries with my opinion anymore. I just go off what the math is telling me. So for the optimizer, there's not a ton of good examples on the board at the moment. But if we come down to maybe like Keegan Murray, there's no discrepancy here. What this tool does is it compares multiple discrepancies across multiple sports books. No discrepancy on Keegan Murray, but it is telling you every single book has the under heavily favored. The juice is heavily on the under. So things like this are right in front of your face. You don't have to worry about going to research it. There's not a good example on the board, I guess, for this one. Only one book, but over 35, because Underdog has a 37. That's an esports play. And then the correlation tool, also one of my favorite tools. I don't think there's anything on the moment, but it's got like hockey, has some esports on here as well. And it absolutely went bananas for me this weekend. I have to show you guys this. Yeah, we had a 35x, we had a 35x, a 20x, and another 35x. So three hits this weekend using the DGF correlation tool. I'll even show you what I've been able to do since using these tools, what it looks like for me since I've started using these. Other than that, though, let's get back to the rebuild. If you want to check out any of these tools, all links are down in the description below. If you're a sports bettor, I do fully recommend using DGF's tools. They're very, very helpful. It makes you a long-term profitable sports bettor like it has me. I used to suck at sports betting, thought I knew it all. Definitely didn't. And the results show as I'm showing you on the screen. But let's get back to the rebuild. So here are your end of the season awards. Of course, these are usually all the same. So Luka winning MVP, Wembanyama wins both defensive player and rookie of the year. The man just continues to get blocks and steals. He had a 5x5 the other night. Absolutely bananas, man. That guy is so freaking good. But other than that, let's get into this. So did we stay in the play-in picture? Yes, we did. Barely. We actually get to play the team, which is funny enough because, I kind of mentioned the Vucevic trade earlier. We get to face a team that we made that trade with, that being the Chicago Bulls. So let's see if we can knock them out And no, they're going to eliminate us. So maybe we're a little too young, not ready to go this far, but we'll see. Let's simulate to the finals, and let's see who makes it there. So you have Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Denver, and you're going to have Milwaukee want to win the championship. The Damian Lillard Finals MVP. Of course, as a Blazers fan and a Damian Lillard fan, I love to see that. But LeBron James probably not going to retire after 1 year after this year, I imagine. We'll see, though. Draft lottery time. We're going to be in the lottery now, which isn't the worst thing in the world. We're projected pick number 10. So if somehow we got lucky and fell or, jumped up in the draft, it'd be pretty amazing. But we are going to stick at 10. So number 10, I will absolutely take. Wizards, Spurs, and Hornets at 1, 2, and 3. And Blazers fell to 6, which would suck. We just lost the Hornets yesterday. We were absolutely poverty. Staff signing. Let's see. We got Jamal Mosley. I'll keep that the same. And then we'll just fill out the rest of this. So I don't really know if I'm going to do anything like crazy right away. Kind of just want to feel it out first. I'm going to see what the draft board looks like when we get, when we're picking at 10. See if there's anybody that makes sense to grab. And also we could scan the trade market first as well. So let's start there. Let's scan the trade market. I don't have like a particular target in mind for this team at the moment. I know one thing this team definitely lacks and that needs, that could use some help is some shooting. So if there's like an elite shooter out there, because I'm trying to get, if I'm going to trade for someone, I kind of want an elite player, but maybe we just settle on some good shooting as well. We'll see. But let's take a look at maybe around the league and see if there's anybody worth, trying to make a trade for here. So I scanned the league real quick to see if there's anything that made sense to me. There is a couple things that made sense to me. So let's start with this. I'm not going to do this right away, but it does make sense to me if the Hawks really do like blow it up this offseason. I think Orlando and Trae Young could be interesting. Trae Young, of course, could come over and be their starting point guard next to Paulo and Franz. That makes a lot of sense. But another one I actually kind of like that I think would fit exactly what the Mavericks, or not the Mavericks, sorry, the Magic need. And no, it's not Mikal Bridges. I know that's what you're thinking. I get him way too much, man. I really do, and I apologize for that. But Cameron Johnson, of course, known for his shooting ability. If you could get Cameron Johnson, if the Nets were willing to sell him off, I definitely think that's worth looking at. I think he'd be exactly kind of what the Magic need. I don't know where he'd fit in our lineup. I guess we could play Franz at the 2 or whatever if we needed to. And of course, him being 6'8", our length stays very, very vertical, which is nice. So let's go ahead and see if there's anything that would make sense. So of course, we have Jonathan Isaac's contract that we can maybe throw at them. What else do we have? Do we have anything else that's interesting? We have like Jet Howard, which I think he could eventually become something, but if we moved him to get Cameron Johnson, it wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. So let's start with Jonathan Isaac in here because I do think Cameron Johnson would be exactly kind of what we're looking for. So let's try to keep Jet Howard out of the trade. But let's say we did Caleb Houston and the 10th pick. We could maybe trade this top 5 Denver pick or something like that. I think that doesn't suck. And then an early second. I don't know what Cameron Johnson's trade value would be entirely. But I don't think this is the worst, value in the world for them. So let's say we did this. A top 5 Denver pick at 2025. So they get another 2025 pick. Caleb Houston, Jonathan Isaac. So that's another first for them. And then maybe we trade like another second or something. Let's see if that says, or if they say, and we got Cameron Johnson. So I think he's perfect. We needed a shooter, and Cameron Johnson fits that bill very much so. So I actually like that addition a lot. Again, we'll figure out where we're going to put him just at the moment. If I move him to the 3, he goes up. Move Franz to the 2, he goes down. If I move Paulo to the 3, I move. Okay, so I could do. Wait, what if I move Cameron Johnson to the 2? Okay, we'll figure it out. Let's go straight to player option, or no, draft. We actually have the 10th overall pick still. I decided not to trade it. So Zach Satcher, Stephon, Sally, Kobe Walter, the Collier, Ryan Dunn. There's no way this is about to happen again. Dude, what on earth? I mean, how can I pass it up? He fell to me to 10. I'm taking him. No doubt in my mind. Alex Sarr, welcome to Orlando. I have no idea why he's fallen this far, but I will absolutely take him. He just fell to our laps. Yeah, welcome to Orlando, my friend. Paulo Banchero, of course, you're going to accept that. Qualifying offers. Chumo Kiki. I'll extend it. Why not? And then free agency. So, yeah, so far, this is a beautiful offseason. We got Alex Sarr falling all the way to our laps. And we actually have money to sign a free agent as well if we truly want to. So that's actually really cool as well. So we could go sign some more shooting, which is nice. So, which is why I don't think I'll resign Markelle Fultz. I think I kind of want to focus on some shooting. So right now, this is what it would look like. So Cole Anthony, Anthony Black. I definitely think we need to focus on the guard spot. Although, again, we might be playing Franz Wagner at the 2. Maybe. We'll see. And then maybe. We'll see. We'll see where we should focus. So Wendell Carter, Mo Wagner. But I definitely want to look at the shooting category. So Grayson Allen, Buddy Hield, Klay Thompson, Paul George, Doug McDermott, Matt Ryan, James Harden's here. I guess this is the best man who quickly would be interesting. let's look at it a different way. Because of course, as much as I want shooting, I definitely still want to sign a good player. Maxey, of course, to be perfect, but just think Philadelphia realistically would match anything he's offered. Blake Monk, he shot 39% from 3. Would be pretty interesting. Jalen Duren, never understand why the Pistons decline it. OG Anunoby would be fun, but I think he's staying in New York. Tyus Jones, Darius Sarge, Oubre. Maybe we just sign a 3-point specialist off the bench and call it a day. Like, we don't have to go too crazy. We have Luke Kennard and Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker shot 38% from 3. Patrick Williams, of course, 37%. Luke Kennard, 43%. If Luke Kennard was a better overall, that'd be perfect, but he's only like a 77. All right, so out of all these options, what makes, what stands out to us? I mean, I know Quickly does, but again, I think he's staying in Toronto. Bruce Brown is interesting. He shot 36% from 3, not the worst in the world. Chris Dunn, Dinwiddie, Reggie Jackson. All right, so D'Angelo Russell also could be fun, 40% from 3 last year. Malik Monk. Buddy Hield, of course, makes a lot of sense. I just know he'll probably regress. Gary Trent Jr., how did he shoot last year? 40% from 3. I actually think he'd make some sense. I might go with Gary Trent here, just because he's the youngest of the bunch. Lonnie Walker is there, too, with them. Don't get me wrong. But I think I'm going to go with Gary Trent. Let's sign Gary Trent Jr. to a nice little 2-year deal. And he'll be our big acquisition, I guess. Not that big of an acquisition, but gives us another shooter off the bench, which I love. All right, so we got Gary Trent Jr., which I like a lot. And then we'll continue to see what player progression looks like. Maybe Cameron Johnson doesn't have to start. He just comes off the bench. We'll figure it out. But let's get straight to player progression. So we didn't do anything too crazy. We got Cameron Johnson, Trent, and Alex Sarr in the same offseason. It's still a successful offseason. Don't get me wrong. Paulo is up. Suggs is up. Gary Trent is up, which is good. Wendell Carter is down. And then Anthony Black is up, which is nice. So Anthony Black, he's up to an A- 3-point shot as well. So maybe he becomes that guy for us. Chimo Kiki and Jet Howard are also up, which is nice. So pretty optimistic about what the season could be for us. I think we could easily be like a play-in team again. Probably even hopefully a playoff team this year. Love the acquisitions we made this offseason. Really lucked into Alex Sarr falling to our laps. And then Cameron Johnson, I think, was a perfect fit for us. So let's go see what this is going to look like. So power ranking is going on as 21st. Proficiency is 3.5 balanced. We could go to nothing. So we could stay at 3.5 balanced. So yeah, right now, if we ran it this way, it'd be Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Alex Sarr, Cameron Johnson, Gary Trent Jr., Wendell Carter, and Mo Wagner. A lot of centers off the bench, as you can see. So I think this is what we'll do. So right now, I think what we'll do is we'll slide Cameron Johnson to the 3. He'll be the backup 3. All right, he did go up last year, but not this year. I'll move Mo Wagner to the 4, so he could be the backup 4. If I could change his position, I messed up. Mo Wagner to the 4. We'll do that. And then that'll look a little bit better. So Cole Anthony, Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Alex Sarr, Cameron Johnson as the 6th man. I do kind of want him to start. Like, maybe eventually we could slide Cole Anthony and get... We'll figure it out. And then I do want Anthony Black to get minutes, though, kind of. So I guess we run a 10-man rotation because I do want him to get minutes. So we're running a 10-man rotation. Anthony Black gets minutes this year. Is there anybody I send to the G League? I guess we can send Jet Howard there. Definitely have a little bit of a log jam to figure out, but I don't hate this rotation. I don't think it's too bad. Eventually, I might have Cole Anthony come off the bench and find a way to put Cameron Johnson in the starting 5. But other than that, I'm actually pretty satisfied with this. So let's see how the season goes. So season number 2 does not go as planned. We actually regress a little bit this year. Literally pretty disappointed by that. So let's take a look at what went wrong. Taking a look at the player stats. You had 21 from Paulo, 14, 14, 13.5, 11. 11, 10, and 10. So yeah, this is a pretty good rotation, but ultimately it did not lead to success this year. So definitely very disappointing, but that's okay. Taking a step back and evaluating where we can go from here is not the worst thing in the world. Cavaliers, Nuggets, and the Nuggets going to win the championship. We also enter the lottery again in a really good draft class. So like, not the worst thing in the world. And this coaching staff, pool is always really good. So we're projected pick 7. If we found a way to jump up in the top 4, obviously I'd be super happy about that. But we are going to stay at 7. So we stick at 7. Don't move up at all. Staff signing. I think it's, if that, based off, regressing, I think we got to go ahead and do that. Steve Kerr did get extended in real life, but if he's here, maybe they fired him. I don't know. But we're going to try to get Steve Kerr. I don't ever get Steve Kerr. If I can get him, that'd be awesome. Taylor Jenkins, Will Hardy, Brian Keefe. I can get those guys quite a bit. I think Frank Vogel once upon a time coached the Orlando Magic, but let's run it back with them. Why not? And then let's see where else we can do. Will Hardy. I just always get Will Hardy and Of course, Joe Mazzulla we could try to get as well. Why not? We'll go all those guys. So we are gonna get Joe Mazzulla to sign. We could sign. Steve Kerr says no, so we'll sign Joe Mazzulla to be our head coach. Let's go to assistant head coaches. We'll grab Baker, and we just got to fill out the rest of this. So we have a 7th overall pick. We have a new head coach, and then we should be ready to figure out what we can do better this offseason. And then I even tried to fix the rotation mid-season by putting Cameron Johnson as a starter and moving France to the 2. But that didn't seem to really help whatsoever, which really sucked. But you know, if we take a look at, or I guess we already looked at player stats, but let's see. So we had 21 points from Paulo. And then let's look at shooting as well. I'm curious about this. So 39%, 39%, 38%, 37%, 37%. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's go straight to draft night, unless we're gonna make a trade already on draft night, because we have Cole Anthony's contract, and outside of that, we don't have anything. So let's just jump in and draft someone. So number 1, Cooper Flag, of course, Dylan Harper. Number 2, Bailey. You're gonna have Dirk. You're gonna have Noah, and you're gonna have San Antonio, and you're gonna have Damian Sarr. Now, Atlanta did just draft a brand new point guard in Dylan Harper. So I am a little curious if we could get Trae Young here. I don't know, just spitballing here. But if I threw Cole Anthony at them, and I don't really have anybody else to offer them at the moment. But if I threw 7 and then like another future first, like 2027, 2029, and we go all in on Trae Young. Maybe throw Gary Trent Jr. in here as well, and we just go all in on this, like right here for Trae Young. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I mean, this is the kind of move we're looking for to make a jump, and I think Trae Young would help us out with that a ton. We have plenty of size to outweigh, you know, how small he is as a defender. So I definitely think this makes a ton of sense for us. We're doing it. We're getting Trae Young on draft night. Trae Young is traded. Atlanta finally moves on from him. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to be moved on from anyway. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Nate Battle in round 2. Player options, Paulo, Anthony Black, Jet Howard. We're going to keep all those guys. Qualifying offers, Franz and Jalen Suggs, 2 guys we must re-sign. But this core is now attacking a championship. After that kind of trade, yeah, that's where we're at as a franchise now. So Franz re-signing, and then Jalen Suggs is a re-sign as well. And I'll even re-sign Mo Wagner, you know, to keep Franz Wagner happy. So get both the Wagners back, Jalen Suggs also. And now we can take a look at the rotation. So we have Trae Young, Jalen Suggs. Now we can move. Okay, so Cameron Johnson, Jet Howard. Hopefully Jet Howard's ready to play this year. And then, oh, I traded one. I was about to say, I thought I had one of Carp, but no, I traded him in that trade. Okay, so I think we have to sign a backup center. Hopefully get a good one. Jackson Hayes, 25 years old, 77 overall, not too shabby. I'll go ahead and give him a contract. So Jackson Hayes, welcome in. And then we can move Anthony Black to the 2 probably, because he goes up. So yeah, Anthony Black, 87 or 6'7", goes up to an 80. So Trae Young, Jalen Suggs. You have a 6'10" Franz Wagner next to him, a 6'8" Cameron Johnson, a 6'10" Paulo, and a 7'1" Alex Sarr. I definitely think we can outweigh Trae Young's defensive ability with what this rotation is and how much size we have. So hopefully Jet Howard can progress. But yeah, hopefully Trae Young is the one that can make this team take a jump. I love that trade for us. I really do. Go to player progression. Let's see. So we got Anthony Black up, Alex Sarr up, Jalen Suggs is up, Jackson Hayes is down, Jet Howard is up. So Jet Howard does go up. It's serviceable, which is what we wanted. It's at least serviceable. So we'll take that. So now we can get into next season. Brand new head coach, Trae Young. I feel pretty good about next season being at least a playoff team. Like, if we're not a playoff team, that would be a disaster. That would be a disaster. So, but, you know, let's see if that ends up being the case. So, let's go ahead and load a 2026 draft class. Let's get straight into next season. And here is your power rank. Wow, we're only 3.5 balanced, though, which I'm quite surprised by. Surprised we can't be a 4-second or a 4-star anywhere with this rotation. That sucks, but whatever. So Trae Young, we're definitely shrinking this down to a 9-man rotation as well. Trae Young, Franz Wagner, Cameron Johnson, Paulo, and Alex Sarr. I mean, that's a pretty disgusting lineup with Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, Mo Wagner, and Jackson Hayes all up the bench. Guess Jet Howard still won't play this year, which is fine. But yeah, if this team isn't a playoff team, going to be very, very disappointed. It more than likely should be. Power Ranking Atlanta's 15th. Hopefully, we are going to make the playoffs, because I'd be very disgusted if we didn't. So after going all in on Trae Young, Cameron Johnson, and everything else we've acquired up to this point, it works out. We end up as the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference, but of course, none of this matters if we aren't getting a championship, or at least making some progress in the playoffs. It is nice we're actually just straight up in the playoffs this year, though, as Paulo makes an All-NBA third team. I thought we'd get Trae Young on here maybe somewhere, but he does not make it. All offensive first team and all offensive second team. So we are the second seed in the East, which is fantastic. If we take a look at the end of the season stats, you had 26 from Paulo still leading the way, and then 20 from Trae Young with 9 assists. So Trae Young takes a step back. It is still Paulo Banchero's team. 18 from Alex Sarr with 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. You had 15 from Franz, 12 from Jalen Suggs, and then 10 from Cameron Johnson, which is lovely. So now we got to figure out who we're playing in round 1. That would be the Detroit Pistons. So they are probably going to have somebody good. Yep, of course. They have Tatum and Şengün. Why would they not have someone elite in Detroit? So Şengün and Tatum. No wonder why the Celtics suck, by the way. So Celtics were bad. I noticed that in the simulation. Yeah, that's why. Because Tatum is in Detroit. Somebody current round against Detroit. And we are going to beat them in 5. So we took care of business there. Now we get the Charlotte Hornets. So Charlotte with LaMelo, Jalen Green, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams. A very good Charlotte team as well. Gonna definitely be battle tested here. We'll see how this goes. Someone in current round against them. 2-2. We got to go to Simcast and let's see if we can actually want to fix rotation. So Anthony Black's going to start over Suggs, which if that's what we need to do, that's fine. I think Anthony Black is known for, perimeter defense or being a good perimeter defender. So I think him next to Trae Young also makes a ton of sense. So can we come out here and win this one? We do. By 1 point, but we will still take the win nonetheless. All right, now we go to Game 6 in Charlotte. If we win this one, we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're in a close one with them. We could take the lead at any point. We're down 6 with 7 minutes left. Let's slow this down. Let's see if we can take the lead at the very end. We have not led in this game, it looks like, one time. But it looks like they might be taking us to a Game 7 back in. Unless we make a late comeback, which is possible. I definitely think we lost. So yeah, we lost. We're going to a Game 7 now. Game 7 in Orlando. Hopefully we take care of business here. So we had the lead for a second. Now we do. Hopefully we can just continue to, keep this lead. We're down 4 now. Slow this down. Do not let them run away with it, please. It's looking like they're about to. We're down 10. Not looking great for us. Total collapse here looking like, which really, really is unfortunate. So, man, I thought we were going to the East Conference Finals in year number 1 with Trae Young, but we're not. We're going to be eliminated by the Hornets, which they had a talented team. Don't get me wrong, but that sucks. Losing 7 to the, Hornets round 2. You have the Hornets make, oh no, LaMelo Ball and the Raptors lose to Toronto, who has Tyus Jones, Kobe, RJ, Jalen Duren, okay, and Capella. So many playoffs, and the Pelicans going to win the championship. All right, no big deal. I think we get to work this offseason. I don't know if there's going to be like much I'm going to do. I mean, we might do a little bit of stuff, but I mean, outside of just maybe like a couple signings here or there, I think we should be golden. I actually feel really good about the rotation. We took a huge step forward, which is obviously what we wanted. One thing that I find interesting, but I don't think I have the assets for it, is if I could go get Jaylen Brown right now, just because Joe Mazzulla, Jaylen Brown reunited would be fun. And Boston was just terrible, but I don't think I would be able to pull that off. Let's see. We'll entertain it. I don't think I have the contracts, though. Yeah, if I moved like Cameron Johnson, which I guess I could. I guess I don't need to have matches. Sorry, we have the 5th overall pick be the Suns. I wasn't even paying attention. Okay. Wow. That's huge. I guess I could get Jaylen Brown theoretically here, but I don't know. It feels a little crazy if I did that. So I think I'm just going to draft at number 5. So let's see who get number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Okay. We'll take Koa Pete here, and that'll be our selection. And worst case scenario, we don't keep Koa Pete long term, and we could just trade him later on. Trae Young, of course, I'm going to accept, and then we're going to decline a battle. Paulo is a free agent. Time to sign, pay up to Paulo, which is going to cost a ton of money, but we're in it, trying to win a championship at the moment. So I definitely think there's no hesitation here. And then centers we can get Drummond. I actually think makes a ton of sense. Drummond is a terrific rebounder off the bench. I think that makes Jackson Hayes more expendable as well. I think Drummond would help out a ton as a backup 5. So I'm going to dump Jackson Hayes somewhere else. I don't even care what I get. The Bucks are offering me 2 first. Obviously, he is not worth that. I will just give him up for a second. So yeah. So now this is what it's about to look like. So let's go to player progression again. So we didn't do anything crazy. We just got Drummond. So, but yeah, obviously rebounding, very important stat in 2K. So hopefully that helps out a ton. He doesn't go down, or did he? He went down to 78. Okay, that's not terrible. I thought he went down like crazy. Anthony Black up to an 84, Franz up to an 87. Not too shabby. All right, so we're going to this year, same rotation. If we decide to make a trade the deadline, I will show you guys. But I kind of want to just stick through this team. I definitely think this team could eventually get it done with the way it's constructed right now, although 2K doesn't believe in it. One thing I've noticed about 2K is I don't think 2K likes Trae Young, which is kind of weird because like the Hawks would always win championships. But I've noticed every time I've traded for Trae Young, I don't know if I've had like a ton of success, but we'll see if it happens this year or not. I am going to put Drummond in over Mo Wagner. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to put Koa Pete in the G League because, you know, he's not going to play minutes this year. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we're back to being a top 3 seed again. Maybe first seed this year. So this season went fantastic. Went as planned. We end up as the first seed in the East, 55-27. Let's see if Paulo or Trae Young makes it this time. So we got Paulo making it again. No Trae Young, which is fine. We end up as the first seed. So I believe Trae Young is also a free agent this offseason. So it'd be really awesome if we can get it done right here. Not saying I wouldn't be able to resign him, but, you know, it'd be... Oh, Alex R is even averaging 20 at this point. So, yeah, hopefully we could just, you know, go out all the way and make the finals, win a championship. So here is what the rotation's looking like. Let somebody curve around against the Bucks. And if we lose in round 1, I'm out. See you guys. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.